Hello everyone, Mayor Tom Price here, along with City Manager Dr. Brenda Fetro with your city update. Today we have Councilman Frank Forrester with us. Frank is also our Deputy Mayor. He will be giving you an update on this week's City Council meeting. Last week, when we spoke to you, we strongly encouraged everyone to wear a mask when in public, as Florida has now become the epicenter of this virus. We are concerned for all of our citizens. However, our top priority is our senior citizens. CVS drugstores and Publix are now requiring all patrons to wear a mask, so please abide by these requirements. Each of these stores, or any store that requires a mask, has the right to refuse your entry and can bar you from ever entering the store again. It also can go as far as an arrest. To this point, our community has worked so well together. I would hate to see us so divided, and anyone would not want to comply with any store for a few short minutes to keep ourselves and each other safe. Please take personal responsibility. Protect yourselves. Protect those around you. Educate your children and young adults on how to keep their elderly grandparents safe. We as individuals and we as a group are the only ones that can keep folks safe. Right now, at this point in time, it is up to us to do what we can. Thank you very much. And now I will turn it over for some updates from Dr. Brenda Fetro, our City Manager. Brenda?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Just a few updates and/or reminders. Please do not flush the wipes down the toilet. Only flush toilet paper. Even though they may say they're flushable, they are not. They clog up our lift stations, so please don't do that. Also know that our sanitation workers are working very, very hard. They are trying to keep up with all of the trash, as well as the yard debris. And of course, it's many of you are home, which is you're cleaning up your yards, but we are working hard to keep up with that collection. So please be a little patient with us. Also, while many of you are at home, now's a good time to kind of survey your home, making sure you don't have any code violations. Some of them are very, very easy to fix. For example, for your safety and to help emergency services and delivery drivers, please make sure you have address numbers installed on maybe your building itself, because not everyone has a mailbox, but other places have group mailboxes, but also make sure it's on your mailbox. Also, your yard. Please make sure you maintain your property on a regular basis by mowing and edging the sidewalk and curb areas. Vehicles. Make sure all the vehicles stored on your property are operable. The tires inflated, current license plates, and street legal safety measures. Also, please don't park on sidewalks. If you either partially or completely block the sidewalk, that is a code violation. So there are others, but those are just a few easy to fix code violations that we would ask for your help with. And lastly, with regard to the wearing of masks, please know that the Department of Justice warns of inaccurate flyers and postings regarding the use of face masks in the Americans with Disabilities Act. There have been inaccurate flyers or other postings that have been circulating on the web and some other social media channels regarding the use of face masks in the ADA due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of these notices even include the Department of Justice seal and an ADA phone number. The department has issued a previous alert. They did not issue these flyers. They do not endorse them in any way. If you have any concerns or questions, you can certainly reach out to ada.gov, or there is an 800 number, 800-514-0301. But please, again, as the mayor has stated, let's all wear our masks. Let's get through this together. Stay safe. And it is now my pleasure to introduce our Deputy Mayor, Frank Forrester. Deputy Mayor?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Frank Forrester. For those of you who may not know me, I was the assistant principal and dean at Kennedy Middle School for almost 20 years. I've also served the city on the Community Redevelopment Agency and our Education Advisory Board. Want to bring you an update on some things that we did Wednesday night in the council meeting. First thing is a pleasure to recognize Raymond Possinger from our Public Works Department and Brian Hartling from the Fire Department for their 30 years of service to the city. That's a hard mark to hit, 30 years for the same employer. I'm pleased to say that the council was able to approve a small raise for the employees this year. And at the same time, we approved a small reduction in the millage rate. And that is the 7th year in a row we'll have a reduction in the city's property tax millage rate. The money that we collect in our general budget, I also wanted you to know that almost 60% of that, 59% to be exact, goes to our public safety department, police, and fire. So that's what we spend the money on that we collect from your property taxes. A couple of changes coming up in the city. Very shortly, brew pubs and microbreweries will be allowed in the city. We've never had that before. We've never had one, but who knows, something might be in the works. We have passed an ordinance that will allow dog-friendly dining in the city. Now, that's going to be outside only. If you go into your favorite restaurant, you don't have to worry about a Great Dane sitting at the table next door to you and trying to snarf your food, or a Chihuahua for that matter. To move on to something a little less pleasant, as you mostly know, Florida has set new records for the number of infections and the number of deaths related to COVID virus. In response to that, the city has canceled all of our major outdoor events that we had scheduled through the end of November. That will include our 9/11 memorial celebration, our food truck rally, our car show, and our national night out. Those have all been canceled. We will, in a couple of months, we'll review plans for the Christmas holidays and for things coming up during the winter. This is sad news. I hate to have to report that, but I wanted you to know as soon as we decided it, that we have chosen to cancel those things to protect our citizens. We just could not justify having large city-sponsored gatherings under the current circumstances. As the mayor mentioned, Publix, CVS, along with Walgreens, and some businesses outside of town, Target, Walmart, a lot of businesses are now requiring patrons to wear masks when they come in the store. Please comply with those directions and don't cause an incident in the stores. None of us want to see shutdowns or damages to our economy or our health. We have the ability to avoid these, and that is by working together, wearing masks, washing our hands, keeping social distance, and avoiding large gatherings. If we will all do those things, we can avoid another economic shutdown, and we can avoid and cut back on the skyrocketing rates of infection. But it's going to take everybody following those guidelines to make this work. The CDC said the other day that we have a way to control the virus, and that is to simply follow all of those rules for 4 to 8 weeks, and we can cut this spread way, way down to the point that it is actually under control. That's the latest guidance from the CDC. Guidance changes from time to time, but that sounds like reasonable advice to me. It costs us nothing to do that, and it helps everyone. And I want to close with a little story for those out there who are not thinking that this is as serious as it really is. There was a 30-year-old man in Houston who went to a COVID party. Now, I don't know if you've heard of those, but that's where people who are infected with COVID and know it go to a party to share the virus. This man went to a COVID party. He caught the virus, and his last words, and I'm paraphrasing here, was, "I thought it was a hoax. It's not." And then he died. This virus is serious. We can control it if we follow our guidelines, and we would certainly appreciate your help in doing so.